welcome to another video of mine, ladies and gentlemen. In this one I'm going to be talking about Tory's mum in Season 6 of Cobra Kai and why I would pull the plug. Now, what do I mean when I say that? I don't mean you have someone literally going and then pulling the plug out. No, I don't mean that. I mean it's an emotional beat of the story that would really get Tory over with everyone, where we're sitting there watching it, we're seeing the season unfold, and she loses her mum. That would be devastating. That would be absolutely heartbreaking, and I feel like every single character will really not just be there for her, but there'll be a lot of characters who are empathetic towards her, especially people like Daniel, who have been in a very similar situation themselves. Hell, you could even see more of that bond between Amanda and Tory that we saw in Season 4. Didn't get much of that in Season 5, but I think Season 4 could really sort of delve into that a little bit more. And for me, it's just a plot point that I feel like they can't miss, because with the Sekai Taikai looming over Season 6, you know, I know everyone's focused on, oh, who will win this or who will win that, but for me, I think there's certain characters that will win something more than silverware, and I think Tory is one of them. I think this season, I mean, again, you never know. Tory could end up winning the Sekai Taikai. You never know. You just never know. I've been wrong before. But I feel like in this situation, I feel like this right here is a point of conflict for Tory, where if you pull that plug and she loses her mum, I feel like Tory in that moment will really learn what it is to be in touch with Miyagi-Do, and I think that's what a lot of the theme of this season is going to be. I think Kenny's going to be using Miyagi-Do for forgiveness and to redeem whatever, you know, redeem all the mistakes that he was doing, and that's where I think him and Hawk can actually bury the hatchet and connect, and I think him and Robbie can mend those wounds. And I think with someone like Tory, it's a very similar thing, where if you think about it, in terms of the show, Miguel and Hawk started Cobra Kai, but they were in it for 2 seasons. Tory has been Cobra Kai for 3 seasons, like 3, 4, 5, and now she's out of there. So she has been probably the most, I'd say the most loyal to a dojo, and even then, Season 2, so 4 seasons. So she's been in Cobra Kai for 4 seasons, and I feel like we're at a point now where it's time to really sort of remind everyone that, yeah, Cobra Kai is fantastic, but Miyagi-Do is the way. It's always been the way. And I feel like this is the season that Miyagi-Do really gets the dub. Because if you think about it, Cobra Kai is now set up to be the villain. Miyagi-Do is now set up to be the hero. Again, going back to that formula that made the first film so great is, you know, these were the good guys, these were the bad guys. Now, obviously, Cobra Kai are not going to be straight up evil. There's going to be some grey in there, some, you know, morally grey center type kind of thing going on. But I feel like at the moment we're going back to that formula of, right, these are the good guys, these are the people we need to root against. Like, there's that clear distinction and that line now, which is why Tory and Kenny being on this side of the fence makes perfect sense. Even Devin, it makes perfect sense to me, because all the characters that we care about are now on the same page for who needs to go. Cobra Kai needs to go. And I feel like you give Tory such fuel and such motivation. I could imagine this, and I've talked about this a lot at great length. In Sensei Kim's dojo, I want there to be some stone-cold evil people. I want there to be a version of Robbie that, let's say, wanted to kick Miguel over the railing. A version of Miguel that went to the dark side. A version of Hawk that never came back to the light. A version of Tory that is literally a psycho. I want stuff like that, where... Think of the Psycho Rangers from Power Rangers in, I think it was in Space, it might have been, or Lost Galaxy, where they literally were just evil doppelgangers of the main Rangers. That's what I want, and as crazy as it sounds, it's like looking into a mirror. It's like seeing what they could have been had they have not found the way, and that further attests that Miyagi-Do is the way. Now, it doesn't have to play out that way verbatim, but I'm saying that there definitely needs to be someone in Sensei Kim's dojo for Tory to really root against, and I feel like, you know, with everything that's been going on between, you know, Sensei Kim and Tory in the aspect of them two having a real grudge match with each other, I feel like Tory is the key for the girls to win. And Sam will ultimately get the dub, but I feel like Tory will absolutely have a Vegeta-type arc to ensure that Sam can't lose. And I feel like there's going to be someone in that dojo that is opposite to her that will pull at those emotional heartstrings, and it links back to what I said at the start of the video, that will pull at those emotional heartstrings of Tory's mum. That will give Tory the drive and the determination to stick it to him. And I think it's a staple of every boxing movie, every fighting movie, or just every movie, you lose that which you love the most, and it allows you to use it as fuel to rebuild yourself up from there. And I really feel like Tory is in prime position to have that paid off, especially by the time this video uploads. My Miguel video would have uploaded, and in that video I said that, you know, if you're not going to have Miguel win a trophy, how do you fulfill his arc? Will you fulfill his arc with a real meaningful, you know, real situation for him to deal with? And I feel like Tory overcoming her anger and her rage and her past and not believing in herself, you know, and losing her mum, just giving that final nail in the coffin right there, and then overcoming that, it's going to allow Tory to see that she doesn't need anyone else. She's perfectly content within herself to do what she needs to do, and she just needs to believe in herself. There is a powerful, powerful message in that. The power of belief is such a strong tool if you use it correctly, and I feel like Tory is, out of all the characters, I think Tory is that character that you can really have that lesson of, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter where you come from, you can make something of yourself. It's not what's been laid out for you. You are who you choose to be. And I think Tory is absolutely destined to have that arc this season. And I think this is a key component of that, of her mum passing away. And I feel like it's been heavily alluded to. It doesn't have to happen this way verbatim, but I feel like her mum hasn't been shown for the simple reason, you know, when they eventually take her out of the equation, we can't put a face to it. And I actually kind of like that, because then it's just like, okay, yeah, Tory's about to go up to the Sekai Taikai, your mum's gone. Like, you know, just imagine that. Or she's training for the tournament, your mum's gone. Like, that scene would be so devastating. And dare I say it, out of all the talents that are in Cobra Kai, Peyton is without a doubt one of the best. And it's not a comparison by any means. Everyone brings their A game, but Peyton has such a way to convey so much with just facial expression alone. Her performance in season 5, when she was beating like the stone dummy, like the rock dummy, was incredible. That was nothing short of amazing, and I feel like Peyton would absolutely destroy that arc this season. And I feel like there's a lot you can give her other than just her mum passing away, but her mum passing away is going to be the emotional test. Every season there's an emotional test for a character. It's just a staple of storytelling, and I think the emotional test is her mum. And I think losing her mum, you know, learning how to support a family the right way, not with the way she was doing before. Well, to be fair, she was doing what she could to get by, but learning how to support her family without resorting to rage and anger and whatever else. And that will be a good example to set for Brandon, who is her brother. Like, there's so much that's going for her with that. And I think that, you know, Miyagi-Do and Sam, and especially Daniel, are key to that. And there's one other person that's absolutely key, and that's Chosen. Chosen, in one conversation, said to her about honor. That little conversation they had in season 5 about honor, that changed Tory's perspective completely. I think Chosen, I mean, you can apply Chosen to pretty much any of the kids, but I think Tory in particular needs Chosen right now more than ever. And I think there will come a time where maybe instead of Daniel sitting with Miyagi in Karate Kid 2 and copying that, what if it's Chosen that sits with Tory and tells about how when Sato passed? Food for thought. Anyway, I will see you all in another video very, very soon. If you are new around here, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. You jump in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts, if you agree with any of the points I've raised. And hit that subscription button if you haven't already. I will see you all in another video very soon. And remember, Asa!